No matter where the breakdown occurs, you are never alone. Your vehicle is your livelihood, and Road Squad Connect will keep you rolling. Remember, if you break down, we show up. Simply call 800-824-SHOP. This has been Road Squad Radio. I'm Rob Williams.
Stay tuned for Kevin Rutherford. This is Dave Nemo. We'll see you tomorrow morning, right after the Tim Ridley Show. Have a wonderful Tuesday and be safe.
You're listening to Road Dog Trucking Radio.
Driving coach to coach.
Sirius XM 146. Or listen on the Sirius XM app. Road Dog Trucking News with Mark Willis.
Chattanooga's fast-growing trucking industry is now getting a museum of its own. Called the Trucking Hall, HAUL, of Fame, the museum and archive library dedicated to the industry's history is going to be opening up downtown early next year, according to Craig Fuller, the Chief Executive Officer of Chattanooga startup Byways. Fuller said the museum is opening in April in a 10,500 square feet of space connected to the new 412 Market Street headquarters of Byways, which focuses on transportation and logistics, data, and content. Now, Fuller said that the museum is going to be revolving around trucking entrepreneurs and companies, unlike other facilities nationally, he says, which tend to highlight vehicles. I'm Mark Willis, reporting right here on the Road Dog.
Road Dog Trucking News, exclusively on Sirius XM.
Pitbull's Globalization, the channel Pitbull created, playing
I'm a fireball. Music is a universal language, and that's what globalization is all about.
Take a trip to work, the gym, shopping, whatever, and Pitbull puts you in the club with approved party mixes from fire-spitting DJs from around the world. Make Pitbull's Globalization
in 200 feet, turn left on AR 108.
Your destination, Sirius XM Channel 13.
What if there was a place where you could earn $86,000 or the equivalent of 87 cents per mile in your first year? A place where you can make a difference doing what you love. A place where truck drivers are the heartbeat of the company. A place where benefits and pay reflect your hard work. Where you know you'll never have to load or unload freight. A place where we care about your family and how much time you spend with them. Where you can take a well-deserved break at home after hours you log on the road. A place where, when disaster strikes, truck drivers are among the first to respond, delivering water and emergency supplies to the people who need it most.
In a quarter of a mile, take the entrance to the left on I-30 East.
A place with a variety of benefits starting day one, including well-maintained equipment, a quarterly safety bonus, and pay.
In 900 feet, take the entrance to the left on I-30 East.
When taking a DOT break on the road. This is Walmart. This is that place. We are hiring truck drivers all across the country. Apply online at www.driveforwalmart.com. That's drive, the number 4, walmart.com. Walmart is an equal opportunity employer.
Some showers and storms starting off the day in central and south Florida. We'll watch portions of 75, 95 in the Florida Turnpike. 75 travelers from Spring Hill, Florida, southward on down toward Fort Myers and Naples will be on the watch for areas of showers throughout the day. I-95 travelers from Melbourne and the Space Coast southward on down toward Miami and Homestead be on the watch for a few rain showers there. Florida Turnpike from Wildwood southward on down to Vero Beach be on the watch for areas of showers and storms. Nuisance snows are going to show up across portions of the Ohio Valley.
Continue on this road for 136 miles.
Around the Great Lakes and into the Central Plains. 81 travelers from Bristol and the Tri-Cities northward on up to Roanoke be on the watch for some flurries and snow showers there. Also going to watch portions of I-65 from Indianapolis on up toward Gary, Indiana with some snow showers likely today. Rain showers in central California, snows in the higher elevations of the Sierras and Shastas throughout this Tuesday.
This is Road Dog Trucking Radio's Trucking Business and Beyond.
We are talking about business rates, money, taxes, accounting.
Tips, tricks, and financial strategies to help your business grow, make more money, and keep it in your pocket.
Use your uniqueness and exploit it in the service of others.
And now, Kevin Rutherford on Trucking Business and Beyond.
Welcome, my left curve ahead. Welcome to my world. I'm your host, Kevin Rutherford. The number to join us,
888-876-2336. Lines are open. Start dialing right now. They will fill up. They always do. I don't have much of an open today, so I'm going to be getting to your calls here pretty quickly. So line them up. 888-876-2336. First hour here today, anything goes. If you have a question, a comment, a topic, pick up the phone. Dial right now. We'll get to those calls. The second and third hour today, I'll be joined by the team from Pittsburgh Power, who will be taking all of your maintenance-related calls during those 2 hours. So right now, it's anything goes. Pick up the phone and join me. 888-876-2336. Not a lot going on in the news right now. A lot of the same stuff being repeated. Everybody, I feel like, is holding their breath, waiting to see what this economy is going to do. We're kind of in a really strange time. When you look at what the analysts are saying, if you look at what the numbers are saying, things look good. But a lot of people are worried that they've been good for a long time, and there are signs that we're at the top, and that's both for the economy in general and trucking. And then we have kind of the wild card, really, which, love him or hate him, President Trump has really shaken things up in the world economy. If you've been paying attention to what's going on at the G20 summit, they sort of came to an agreement with China. Nothing earth-shattering, but no tariffs, no new tariffs are going into place right now on China. China's agreed to buy more American goods. Nothing real specific, but the two have 90 days now to work things out. And the tariffs with China had a lot of industries worried. So it looks like we've got a little bit of a break from that. And that will probably put the market at ease for a while. And we'll see what happens. We have the holiday season, which is always big for the economy. But the numbers are confusing. And the numbers are different. This is one of the years where there's been a major shift towards more online shopping. That's been a trend for over a decade now, but this year it kind of exploded, so it's changing the timing of things as well, and how goods are being moved. So that's having kind of a strange impact on the trucking industry. Right now, things look good for rates, they look good for volume, they look good for the economy, but there's volatility in the market, so a lot of people are sitting back, even analysts who have been doing this for years and decades, kind of sitting back saying it's kind of a strange time. We're not really sure. Most people are predicting that 2019 should be fairly consistent, and we shouldn't see a lot of change. We're not going to see a lot more growth. That makes sense because we're kind of at the top. But we're hoping we don't see a big slide or a big decline as well. If things hold steady and we have a solid 2019, that would be fantastic. Winter looks like it's going to be pretty rough in most parts of the country. So far here in the Pacific Northwest, been pretty mild. But clearly you look around the country in places that normally don't get hit this early are getting hit pretty hard. And that can have an effect certainly on trucking, so we'll see where that goes. The lesson's the same. Whether the market's up, the market's down, whether there's a lot of volatility or no volatility, whether we have good predictions or we're in a place where we're not really sure, control what you can control. Get your business in order. That's been my message for a while now. For a lot of reasons. When the economy is this good, when you have a year as good as 2018, if your business is managed well, you're in a good cash position, you have good accounting numbers, you can maximize a year like this. I am fully predicting that this year we will see more owner-operators net over $100,000 than ever before. I remember a time when if I could get just a couple of owner-operators who could break that number, it was a pretty big deal. Now, it's pretty common. Even in 17, we saw it quite a bit. In fact, it may have been a record. I think 18 is going to be far beyond that. We have the tax law changes that are going to be a big topic coming up real soon. I mean, think about it. We are less than 30 days away from the year ending. Those tax laws went into effect on January 1st, and we still really don't understand them completely. We don't have all the final forms. Now, when I say we don't understand them, I will tell you I've read everything I can possibly read. Our tax team and the people we turn to for help on taxes, they've done all the possible reading and research and interpretation they can do. But until the final forms come out, we don't know. Even when the final forms come out, there are so many changes here. It's going to be a very interesting tax year. So the lesson in all of this, same thing I've been saying for a couple years now. There's a lot of disruption going on. Things are changing. That creates incredible opportunity, but it will also put a lot of people out of business. I've been saying that depending on if or how and when this turns, and it will, I think we could see a bloodbath in the owner-operator small carrier world. But that doesn't have to be. There's always going to be freight. There's always going to be enough money in freight to move it and make a profit, but not for everybody. You have to decide, do you want to be a part of that group that survives this next transition, whatever it's going to be and whenever it comes? And the only way to do that is get prepared. Accounting right now, critically important, because it has been a really big year. You need to get your numbers together early. There are going to be plenty of opportunities, so you want to see where your money's going and how you may manage that better. And this is going to be, I don't even know what word to use, the most interesting tax season I've seen in my lifetime, really. And I've been pretty involved in the tax side of things since 1990. When I started doing tax returns, we had the big tax law change in 1986. And I can tell you in 1990, 4 years after it was passed, and this is when I was first getting into tax preparation and learning and studying, that was still a big issue. 4 years later, we were still trying to work out what did the rules really mean? How do you interpret the rules? How do you use those rules to our advantage? That was a pretty complicated tax law change in 86, but it is nothing compared to what we're going through right now. Especially in the trucking industry, it was hit pretty hard with some of these rules, not on purpose. It was just one of those things we talk about, the law of unintended consequences. I know a lot of drivers feel like they were targeted by losing the per diem, but it wasn't. There was nobody sat down and said, oh, wait a minute, let's screw these truck drivers and take away this big per diem deduction. That was never a thought on anybody's mind. They didn't even address per diem specifically, so it was not targeted at trucking. And by the way, everybody in every industry gets to use per diem, just some different rules. But nobody targeted trucking with this rule. I know I hear that a lot. Oh boy, they screwed the truck drivers, they were after us, and that's not the case. This wasn't even about per diem. That's why per diem still exists and didn't change. None of the rules about per diem changed. What changed was what employees are allowed to deduct. That's what changed. And it wasn't just per diem, it was all kinds of things. And the point was to simplify our tax system. So one of the most complicated areas of our tax system for individuals, not businesses, for individuals, was the Schedule A and all of the itemized deductions. When you hear the phrase, should I itemize or will I take the standard deduction? That was confusing for a lot of people because all of those itemized deductions were confusing. The whole point was not to eliminate per diem. The whole point was to eliminate itemized deductions and just give everybody a standard deduction to simplify things. So that's what they did. They just, for example, if you were married in 2017, you had a $12,000 standard deduction. In 2018, it's $24,000. It was doubled. That covers, for most people, that more than covers those itemized deductions that went away. Now, for some drivers, it didn't cover it all because their per diem is such a big deduction, but that's unusual. It's out of the norm. And again, the government was not targeting per diem in any way. They were just eliminating itemized deductions. But it's a big change. I think what we'll see, most companies are too busy running their business and making money and serving their customers to really dig deep into tax. It's most businesses don't want to deal with it. They don't understand it. They hope their accountant does and that they take care of things. And that's kind of the point behind the fair tax, by the way, so that business could get back to doing what it does, serving its customers and not spending so much time and energy worrying about taxes. But we have a new, complicated tax system for business. They simplified things on the personal side, but they really made things far more complicated on the business side, mostly based around that 20% pass-through deduction, which is an amazing thing. I'm certainly not complaining about it. It's like the biggest gift I've ever seen in the tax code given to businesses by far. So I'm not complaining about it, but it's somewhat complicated. I think for owner-operators it's not going to be too bad, but we'll keep an eye on that. So the lesson here, get prepared. Get your accounting in order right now. But I'm going to get to a break. When I come back, I'm going to tell you about a special offer we have to make this easy and free. You can't beat easy and free. And then we'll get to your calls and questions. Stick around. You're on the Road Dog, Sirius XM 146. I'm Kevin Rutherford.